What's going on, everybody? Logan with Infinite Money Trading. We're going over how to manage a trade, entries and exits here. This is going to be a theory-based educational video. I'm hoping to really just deep dive into the decision-making process. I've gone over in my position update videos how I entered and exited, if it was successful or not, what I should have done better, what I did right. But this is going to really instead focus on those moments and what you should be doing and how you're going to be set up for those moments to make the right decision. And so we're just going to go over some slides real quick before we go into some examples. So first and foremost, the most important part of managing a trade is preparation. You cannot make the right decision if you don't already have everything prepared. If you're looking at a chart that literally just has price bars on it, then, good luck. You're going to make in that moment a decision on the trends, the support and resistance without even having them drawn. You memorize those. That's great. You're probably looking at a 1-minute chart as well, and so that's not going to help either. And so this is about 80% of all the work I do is just analyzing charts, preparing them, drawing my trend lines, support and resistance, finding those levels so that when it comes to really the performance, which is actively trading during the market, that's already there for you. You can see those levels and you can make the decision based off of what's already there, and you can trust in those and have confidence and not make emotional decisions. You see price moving down to support, you want to buy at support. That's the rule. Buy at support, sell at resistance. Have the chart prepped so that maybe you don't have all day to trade like myself, because that's what I've set up for my schedule. Maybe you're a normal person that's working during 9 to 5 and you're mobilely trading. You don't have time to be looking for all of these levels, looking for where am I buying and selling. Prep it. Just have it already prepared, and that way you can make the best decision in a quick instant and you're not emotionally making a decision. And so what goes with that is just the idea of planning. Theorize what you're going to do at every single moment before it even happens. This is like playing a game of chess. If you're only thinking one move ahead, you're never going to win. You need to be thinking multiple moves ahead. And the way to do that is to have your chart set up and then think about what you're going to do at every single stage. You could just do this at the end of each day. That's fine. But so if price gaps up at open, what am I going to do in that situation? I just cleared resistance. Am I looking to buy there, or am I waiting for it to come back down and turn it into support and buy off the bounce? Well, that's going to depend based off of the chart. So if there's resistance immediately above, maybe it's not the best idea to buy yet. And so these are things to think about so that when price is actively moving, you're not making a decision, emotionally because it's moving quickly. You already thought about it and you kind of removed some of those outlying thoughts that might get you into some trouble. And usually those decisions that are the poorest decisions are when price is moving with a lot of velocity. It's either dropping, and so you're getting worried to sell, or you want to buy because it's dropping so quickly. No, you got to be basing those decisions off of, obviously, the support and resistance are there, but also of what you've already sort of thought about in your head. What am I going to do if price is doing that? So if price is skyrocketing and moving through levels quickly, are you buying on support at that moment? Well, price is moving pretty quickly, so you're not even getting tests on support. So you need to be able to realize that that is a scenario that can happen, and you want to think about how you're personally going to deal with that situation. Everyone has different capital, different time commitments. Everyone's watching on different charts. And so, I'm a daily chart kind of guy, so I'm basing my decisions on a little bit of a different, analysis than if you're looking at, let's say, a 15-minute chart, and then you're going to have a lot more price movement. Of course, there's a lot more going on. And so think about, in terms of your own self, what are you going to do at every single moment to the best that you can? Obviously, we're not perfect. We can't think about every single thing, but just build up a data bank of these ideas so that you can draw from them when the time comes. It's going to really help out a lot, and it's going to remove some of those irrational decisions that you're going to make. The next thing just to mention is if you're trading options like myself, you need to be thinking beforehand. Obviously, you don't know what the option is going to be, and we don't even know what the price is going to be until it's actually there based off of volume and everything. But think about, especially your expiration, what are you looking for in expiration? You know, if you're trading off of a flag, then obviously you're going to have a shorter expiration. And in terms of strikes, that again is based off of your own strategy. I'm an at the money kind of trader. You know, I want to get the volume right there at the money, and then I'm looking to swing that off of, you know, when the next resistance comes, or if I'm going down, then off the next support. And so think about these things all together. Think about your prep, your planning, and have that all come together so that you can be confident while you're trading. The most important thing is to trust in these things that you're doing. And more importantly than just trusting in yourself is just trust in the math, the technicals themselves. You know, if you find support and resistance in trends, those are there and they're not gonna, you know, they're real things and they're gonna make a difference. And so if price is moving to support, you need to have the confidence that it's going to bounce off that support, especially if it's, you know, slowing down when it gets closer to it. And the same with resistance. In terms of trends, trust in what the trend is. And of course, other than the math yourself, of course, trust in yourself and be confident in your own plays, in what you're doing. You may not be the most knowledgeable person, but if you just remove the emotional state and you're not selling when price has increased a few percent because profit's profit, well, it's not, first of all. It's not, because when price could then move another 20%, you're going to feel pretty, you know, sucky about that, and you're not going to think it's profit. And so have patience and just have confidence in yourself to push your trades, especially. You know, I always talk about winning big and losing small. That's not really the hardest thing to do if you remove emotion, because you can continue to push those winners as far as they can go, and you just watch for a price reversal. You know, price isn't going to immediately then drop another 10%. You're going to see the warning signs that price is rolling over and that, you know, you don't have any further to go. And then same with losing small. You set a stop on your loss and don't move it. Don't become a bag holder. Don't chase dogs. You know, some people want to chase the same ticker over and over that is never winning for them. That doesn't make much sense. And they're, of course, the ones that are moving their stop losses. If you're in the profit, of course you can start moving your stop to take profit at a higher point. But again, it's just keep pushing it. And so think about these things all together. Now we're going to go over some examples. I'm going to already have the chart set up, and we're going to go over the planning stage and then how to actively make the best decision based off of the bars that actually come out, the candles on those days. And we'll even look on more of an intraday level to see for bounces. Is it a successful test? You know, is it a velocity moving through it? Do we have an opportunity to buy now, sell now? What is the way to think about these situations? And so let's jump into that now. All right, so here we are taking a look at cars. So the prep is already done. We have our trend lines. You can see how we have a nice bottom trend line here, top trend line. We have support. We have our resistance here. Let me change that over. And so these are all pretty strong levels. If you take a look at the wicks, everything touches well. We have this pattern here, and so we can look at this trend line here as well. So what's the plan going to be? Let's take a look. We have about 3% or so until 3.5% until resistance. So I would be okay with buying here and looking to sell at resistance, whichever way it went. And in terms of where I'm going to buy for support, well, we have this trend line here. So this looks like a nice trend line to buy on. And then, of course, this support down here is pretty far away, right? It's a pretty big percentage away. And so we would need to really come down to be able to buy down here. But again, that's something we're going to think about. So in terms of where we're buying, support, and then if this turns into support, to buy off there to the upside as well. And so if we open further down, then I'd look to come back down to bounce here. And if we open closer to resistance here, then I want to be careful while buying, because I know I need to sell at resistance in time unless velocity is quick here. So if we opened here and they're just, you know, churning through, then that's completely fine. And then also if we move through, I'm ready to sell at the support again, right? So if price moves through, but then it comes down and doesn't successfully bounce back off, then I'm going to sell as soon as I break through, right? And the same is said with any other supports and stuff as well. And so let's take a look at what happens the next day. Okay, well, here's open. We moved through. And so what are you going to do in this moment? Well, price is moving bullishly. And so we're going to buy sometime after open. Price is about to hit resistance. Did it get rejected? No, it moves through. And so there's no reason, let's say, to sell yet until you get a nice rejection. Now you can see what happened. Price, the bids came all the way up here and then we broke back down. So where would you sell? You would sell as soon as this support, it's now support when price is up here. As soon as it gets broken, you would sell. And so that's a quick scalp play. And then price closed down here. Now you didn't have to make that play at all. If you can't make day trades, then this is not the play to be making, right? You're looking to instead buy on support, and then sell at resistance. And so that's one trade that can be made there. Okay, what are we planning for the next day? Well, now that we moved down, a pretty good amount, we're now looking to buy on this support. And so if price opens, let's say right on support, then we're going to of course be buying if price is moving bullishly. And then if price just opens here and it's moving down, then we're waiting. We're just going to patiently wait. If it's moving up, well, again, we could do the same thing. Price opens this way, we're going to buy and then look to sell at resistance unless price is moving through it with good velocity. Here we are, open, broke through, and close here. Okay, so what do we doing this day? Well, we didn't have an opportunity to buy yet. We haven't turned anything to support. We can see that this trend line sort of acted as support when it came down here as a zone. So today, in this day, there was no real option. Tomorrow, well, if we opened on this support and we're moving through the support, then I want to buy, of course, at the support. Or if we're moving down, then I'm looking to either buy off this trend line if we get a bounce, or if we're going to come down here, then of course I'm looking to buy off here. So buy, and buy. Let's take a look. Here we are. We opened above support. We were moving bullishly, so you're going to want to buy somewhere in here when price is moving up like that. And you can see this is about 11%. Now, are we selling at this resistance here? Well, you can see that price moved through with good velocity, right? So there was not any reason to sell yet because you didn't get rejected. So buy, hold. Now, what are we looking for tomorrow as a plan? Well, we've already bought in. If you didn't buy here and you missed out, well, then you're looking to buy off the support. Or if it continues to the upside, then you're going to buy in as soon as you can. When are we selling? Well, we're going to sell if the support is broken. And so if we open here tomorrow and then price moves through, we're going to sell. If price opens below, then you have a different situation, right? So if price opens below, but price is moving bullishly through, then you can hold and see if you get rejected here. So I would not sell. It'd be the same as this candle. You're not going to sell unless this gets rejected. Now, if we're moving down, then we're going to then look to sell and buy off the support again. Let's take a look. So here we opened a little bit lower, but you can see that we actually just kind of stayed in this zone. Now, how do you make a decision if you need to if you need to sell during this? Well, this is where it's going to come down to making sure you're not looking at a lower time frame, because you're going to get, whipsawed, you could say, but you're also going to get just bad data of how price is really moving. And so you need to be looking at longer time controls, most likely, if you're getting worried about selling. And so we're still holding. Now, in terms of what are we going to do? Well, we're looking for the upside still, right? This is bullish, so we're looking for the upside. So we didn't really have an opportunity to sell yet. Now, if you're watching on the 15-minute, you probably could have sold when this came through and then bought back on support until you came back up. And so there's two options there depending on what you bought for expiration. Plan tomorrow is, if you're still holding, to hold unless you break through here again and you're going to sell. And then the same with if you just bought again, which is probably the swing play that I would be making here, then what you're doing is to buy on support again to the upside. Here we are, we opened, we moved through, so you'd sell, and you could see we had two directions here, so it looks like open, came back up, and then we moved down, so you would have sold here again, and you could see where we almost had an opportunity, you could say here, to buy at this support. So when you saw price coming back up here, that would have been an opportunity to likely buy. And so it really comes down to how many trades you're willing to make. It's completely fine not to buy here when it's reversing back up, and you're looking to then get back on this resistance here and turn it to support and buy on the upside. So again, the plan for tomorrow is to either buy on this support or turn this into support and buy off of it. Here we are. We opened, came down to support. Well, we're buying on support, and we came back up here for the day. So now what are we doing? Well, we're looking to hold, sell at resistance if we get rejected, or hold through resistance if we have velocity. Here we are. We opened right against resistance. You can see that we sort of came through and then we closed down here. So what would you do? Well, you'd be selling at resistance based off of if the price movement came down and got rejected, or if when it moved through and it came back down and got rejected, you'd sell. So again, this is another swing here. And so what are we doing again? We're looking to buy on support, or if we open above this, we're buying on support again. See how the trend, it continues and continues. It's the same thing. Okay, well, here we are. We opened on support. So if you're, just to put it into perspective, if you're watching on intraday, you opened above support and you can see price moving bullishly. So there's no surprise which way price is moving. You can, if you're watching any chart, you know which way it's moving, right? You can always tell if you're going down or you're moving up. And so here you opened above support. It's moving with velocity, so you'd buy. And now here we are, we're holding, right? We're not going to sell again. We're looking for the upside. Now, tomorrow, if we then open and we're going to do it again, then again, same thing applies. We're going to sell here at the support. Here we are, we opened, we moved bullishly through, and now we're here. Okay, we're sort of climbing here, right? So what's the plan? Our plan is to hold. We're bought in, we're holding. We're looking to keep pushing and pushing. Again, same rules apply. Came down, are we selling here at any point? Nope, we never broke this. Let's turn this. This is support. We never broke this support. We're not selling. There's no reason to sell. We're holding for the upside. Remember, we bought down here. We're holding for the upside. Open movement. Just because it came up here with the bids, are we selling here? We're holding, holding, holding. Okay, we're still moving up. Are we selling yet? We have not gotten any signs of reversal yet, so we're not taking profit here, right? Let's take a look at where we are. We're up 12.5% right now. You even got 16.5% there. Are we selling? Was there any reversal yet? There's been no reversal, so we're not going to sell yet. Here we are. We opened, closed. You can see we came all the way down here. So are we selling here? We're not selling here. You're not taking profit here because price is not reversed, right? Price needs to reverse. So if you're watching this on an intraday candle, on intraday candles, and you're looking at like a 5-minute chart and you see all this red here, you don't want to be making emotional decisions and saying, I got to take profit because I'm going to lose out on that. You need to have a clear reversal on 2 daily candles, I would say, or at least when you're watching on the intraday charts, be aware of where you are. And so see how price stayed at the exact same level that it was here? This is not reversed yet. It would need to have been lower. So here we are, we're up here now, right? Well, we're closed here. We're not taking profit until price reverses. Okay, well, so then what happens here? Let's take a look at where we are now, right? This is now from today. And so we're up 21% on the day. Are you taking profit at any point during this day? Well, let's start taking a look on a more intraday level, right? And so here is the jump up here. So you can see the movement. And so again, you don't want to be getting caught off guard. This is how tickers move, right? This is how price moves. So you can see price opened here and moved all the way down. Are we selling at anywhere on this candle? Well, price hasn't reversed yet, right? So you're not selling here. Take a look at this movement. Was there any point where you're supposed to sell here today? This is 20%. There's no point in this entire day on this chart that you were supposed to sell because there's been no reversal in price. Now, what if price opens below, right? And price is coming down? You're not selling until price clearly reverses. I know everyone wants to think that you need to be taking profit here, but look at where we are. We have this trend line up here. So take a look at how much room we have. You still have up until here in resistance. So even if we came all the way up here, I wouldn't be selling until I got to resistance, right? And so if you just take a look at the history, how things move, again, we're not selling until resistance, and we wouldn't take profit until price reversed. Now, it's going to take a lot to get that idea, embedded into your head, because it's not every single time that when you push your trade is it going to work. But when it does work, let's say 30% of the time, you're going to make so much more money than if you didn't. And if you do with every single one of them, because that's how it works. You win big and lose small. If you take a little bit of a loss down here, did you really lose? Let's take a look at your percentage here. We're up 42% on this one trade. And now this is a trade that I'm in right now and I'm still holding. Let's say you took a profit over here instead because price reversed. Okay, that's 36%. So your options are still in the hundreds of percentages. You're at like 300% on your contract right here. And then your contract goes to 250% and you're going to be worried about it? Probably not, right? Because if you push your trades as much, then you're going to get the profit. Same with if you're taking profit here, right? You get a little bit worried and so you took profit. Is that the right decision to be making? No. You're not exiting yet. So how do we think about exiting? Well, again, exit is not until you absolutely necessarily have to. And so we're not going to sell until we get resistance. Is there any other resistance up here? There's not. We get this trend. And so the only time we're looking to exit is if we get 2 daily candle price reversals. And so you're going to see something like, okay, and then like this. And you're like, all right, I'm going to sell here because I got 2 red candles here. And then if price instead tends to move back up, then you can buy and look to sell up here again. It's not worth it after 2 red candles here to hold because you want to take profit on this. You can then buy here again and sell. And so that's where we're going to be exiting. And so tomorrow this is the updated chart from here today, July 30th. So today on July 31st, we're going to be watching for these 2 things. If we get a red candle here, even if it comes down to here, I'm not going to be looking to sell. As long as I don't get a price reversal, I know this is a big bar here, but as long as it's not a price reversal, it's still very bullish and you're going to get, a repeat back up. I need 2 candles, 2 green candles to buy, 2 red candles to sell. That's a rejection. And then same with on an intraday basis, if you're watching, as long as you get a successful test, that's what you're looking for. So that was a deep dive on just one ticker here, but I just wanted to show you how the planning stage comes in because that's what's going to help you make the best decision. Was there any time when we needed to make decisions in here? Well, everything went to plan, right? We were going to sell if we get below support, which we did, and we're going to buy off the support here. And now look where we are, right? This is one instance that seems to work out really well, right? But it doesn't matter if it was a big profit or not. We mitigated every single loss in here, right? Just following our rules. And we set ourselves up for making a big gain. We weren't looking for this big of a gain. If price then rolled over right here, then we would have sold and took profit for this entire length here. That's great. And you do this on every single ticker. I'm going to finish up this video by going over limit buys, stop losses, and take profits, and setting all these up before the day even comes, when the market's even open, and you don't even need to watch during the day. And this is just going to turn the printer on and start printing money for you. It's going to take a lot of the stress out, a lot of the work. That's how I'm able to manage so many trades, because there's some trades, yes, you need to actively manage. How we just sort of went over this last one, it's in a bit of a zone where you can't really set up these orders as well, just because of the way it's moving. But take a look at this chart. We're looking at ON. This is on 7-8. And so what are we looking to do to set up this entire trade? I mean, we're literally talking about setting up these orders and never coming back to it and just let it do the work. Here's what we're looking at. These support levels here are going to act as buying. So we're going to set up a limit buy. Let's just draw this out here. And so when you set these up, we're not just doing daily. We're talking about an indefinite limit buys. So we're going to look to buy in a zone right above the support, right? We're looking for a bounce. So that's one limit buy. We're going to use this pink bar, and we're looking to put another buy down here. So I'm either going to buy on this support or this support. Now if this support, so we get this limit order filled, and then this support fails, we're going to want to stop there. So we're going to put a stop loss right below this support. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit better here. So what we're looking to do is limit buy, bounce, or limit buy, breakthrough support, sell, limit buy, bounce. And we're going to put up another stop right below that. So limit buy, stop if it goes through, or limit buy, bounce. All right, so now let's take a look. Are we looking to immediately sell here? We're not. And so let me reset this here. So we have this set up, and you can just keep these here for as long as you want, right? You don't need to remove these. So it could be a few days out and the same thing keeps happening. So the conservative way would be to put a stop loss, a take profit right on this here. And so if you're expecting this is where it's going to bounce and you're a little bit more conservative, let's see, that's about 3.5%, then that's fine. So you put your take profit right here. And then what you can do is put another limit order right above, and you're going to do it again, right? Now, that would be the conservative way. The other way is to not do that. And what you can do is, in the short term, we're going to use this trend line as a take profit. And so let me see if I can draw this here. We're going to look to do a take profit. So I'm going to mark it with blue again, just like the stop. And we're going to look to put that right here along the trend line. So you can see this here. So how do you do this in your broker? Well, you're going to have to figure out how to set these up yourself, but you can do it, I promise you. And so this is our take profit line, right? Well, we're also up here is the other place that I want to take profit at. So let's go ahead and put that here, right on it. And so that's where I would take profit as well. So you can see I have these boundaries here. Here's what we're looking at. So we have our buy orders down here. I'm taking profit along here and taking profit up here. Now, what we're going to do is once price moves through here, so let's say we came down here, bounced, and price moved up. We're going to then, when price reaches through here, set up a new limit order. So let's move forward a little bit in time. Okay, so price came down, filled our order, bounced, is up here. Now what are we going to do is put another limit order right here. Oops. We're going to put another limit order in this zone again. And we're going to put a stop loss. Wow, that's not how it worked. We're going to put a stop loss right below, just like we did before. So we're repositioning, and then these still apply. That's fine. So here's our take profits, stops, stop loss, our limit buys again. And we're just going to let this play out. Let's go ahead, let this play. Let's see what we get here. So take a look. Took profit, bought another limit order here, took profit, probably got a limit buy in here, and there we are, right? So I know that was a little bit weird with the replay, but just to show you, right, we came up here, took profit, bought this again, got stopped out, bought again when we came back up, took profit here, maybe could have bought here, but maybe not. Maybe you didn't get your limit thing and you wouldn't have sold here, so that's fine. So that's how you set up your trade and let it work for you. Now, do you need to move these? No, keep this here. So you probably just filled an order here yesterday, and so now we're looking to take profit up here again. You don't even need to watch this trade with this setup. If you set it up indefinitely, that's it. You can do this on all your trades. Maybe need to fiddle around with it a little bit to figure it out, but this is the preparation phase. And you can see how this can really make your life a lot easier if you're trading a lot of different tickers like myself. And there's a lot of tickers that follow an equilibrium. So supply and demand is following the same. So take a look here. Price is at an equilibrium. It breaks out every now and then, but it goes back to equilibrium. That's what it's all about, supply and demand. I hope you found this video interesting, a little bit of fun. I know I always take longer than I look to, but I hopefully am in depth enough for you. And I know I went over it with the position update videos, entries and exits, but I figured I'd do it again. Why not? This is what you guys wanted. There it is. I'll see you guys in chat. And until next time, videos every week, maybe.